Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide, and I'm very excited on this very chilled, sunny Saturday in Southwest Sydney that I can connect with some beautiful friends. The first of which is here right now. It's Gianluca Di Mario Galliano. How are you, my friend? Looking bright and not just the jersey.
Chilling. How's everything? Good to be back. It's been too long since I've been on a podcast. Nobody invites me anymore.
No one invites you anymore, bro. That's what you get. They say that being fashionably late is the way to get attention. I don't know it's the way that you do it, bro, but it's all good. We're here with you now. And speaking of fashionably late, our favorite Latino, Christian Rivas, will be joining us soon, no doubt. And yeah, today is more of a video, not only for us three friends to catch up. It's also another opportunity for you guys to get into the comments the same way that you did for me last week when I did that quick 10-15 minute video that turned into a 55-minute chat with about 60 people in here. So if we can get some double-digit people in here tonight, that would be fantastic. Zarok says, very hot in Sydney today. Zarok, who are you and whereabouts in Sydney are you from, man? You make sure you let me know. King Darian coming in saying Mario looks like $1 million. Yeah? Bro, I feel like Mario, when you get a haircut, you don't get like a full haircut, do you? You just like trim it down a little bit or what? Because I can't remember the last time I saw you like fresh.
No, what I do is I get the sides done to like a 1.5, right? And then I tell them to shorten the top a little bit. Make it nice. It goes in. Like I haven't gotten a haircut in like almost a month, but my barber did me nice this time.
Our barbershops, being locked down, have been closed for about 3 months now. So it's been a long time. So it's the females who are on the worst end of it. They're going absolutely nuts. But I got to the point about 2 weeks ago, bro, where I couldn't put my hat on backwards without it sticking out here. So every like 3 or 4 days or so, I just put my hat on and get scissors and clip it. It's like it's caveman level shit, man. But yeah,
my quarantine afro.
Yeah, of course I remember that. That was nuts.
In the chat real quick.
That was nuts, bro. How you going, Bruno, man? Good to hear from you. Good to hear from Emiliano. Again, coming in. There's 11 people here at the moment, which is nice. I don't expect too much of a crowd today, just enough to have a nice little chat about what's going on in Inter. We've got the Mario and Christian Rivas fan club in the form of Samer here, saying name a more iconic duo. You can't. Simple as that.
Can you share that picture in the WhatsApp, please?
Did you send a photo of your hair?
That's what I said. Oh man.
All right, man. I'll get it up. I'll get it up eventually. What's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us, man.
What's up?
Family all good? Kid all good?
Yeah, everything's good.
That's great, bro. Welcome to the channel, man. Christian Rivas has officially joined us, everybody, and we're just pretty much going freestyle here today. We're talking about anything that comes up with Inter. We're talking about anything to do with our players, and whatever you guys drop in the comments, that's pretty much where I'm going to go off. I'm really going to go off, okay? 3 players from last season's Inter side are in the final 30 for the Ballon d'Or. Looks like a decent lineup. Do you think Hakimi deserved a spot? No, I actually don't, to be honest. I reckon it was a perfect list of players when I looked at that Ballon d'Or list. I'm like, that's the first time in years I don't think they've almost got a name wrong in that lineup. We all know how they're going to cut it. I'd love to hear from the boys what they think of the list and how they think they're going to cut it. Yes, Mario, chew your food, brother. And here we go.
When we get into it, I'll ask a question.
All right. Christian, did you like what you saw? And I don't know, man. For me, it's Terminator Lewandowski that probably should take this spot. He didn't actually get it when he deserved to got it, I think, a couple of years ago or last season. But from the players that you saw, Christian Rivas on the expected 30-man Ballon d'Or list, I mean, who would you put in the top 3 and for what reasons? Taking into account, we just went past international tournament accolades as well, which play a big factor in this particular one.
If that's it, I mean, I would go Jorginho, Messi, and then the third one, I'd probably actually do Haaland.
With no trophies next to his name, does it count out his individual accolades in your opinion or nah?
I just think the dude's been a baller the whole time. Yeah. And he's playing at Dortmund. He's not at Munich. You already know Bayern's going to be a machine and win that league. Like, it's a given.
The thing is, it's a little bit of a political award, bro. So do you see it as a good way to not give it to someone like Haaland at Dortmund? Because who's really going to complain if Haaland doesn't get it? Dortmund won't complain. Haaland won't complain.
No, but then again, it shows that it really does go off of individual talent. It's not a popularity contest. That's what it's become lately, is just who has more fans.
What do you think, Mario?
I think this is since Snyder lost it in 2010, I have no interest. I literally don't care. I don't care. He was the best player in 2010. He beat everyone except for Iniesta, who.
He did beat him. He beat him in the semifinals.
What?
He did beat Iniesta in the semifinals of the Champions.
I'm thinking World Cup.
Lost the final, yeah. Right. Well, like the thing is, like, even Milito should have been up there, bro. He wasn't even in the 22-man shortlist, which is what it was at the time. It wasn't this rubbish 30 number. I think it was 22 to 25. And Sir Alex Ferguson was the first one to say it at the presentation. He wasn't even asked about him. He goes, "What do you think about the list tonight, Sir Alex?" He goes, "I just want to say, I can't believe Diego Milito's not even in the 22 man. How'd that even happen? Just standing there chewing his gum in a $1,500 suit, bro." When Sir Alex the GOAT says Diego Milito deserves to be there, Diego Milito deserves to be there.
Lewandowski has been one of, if not the best striker of the current generation, and he has been shafted because of politics. I don't give a shit about Messi, about Ronaldo, about Mbappe, Neymar. They can all take a hike. Lewandowski scores more goals. I don't care if it's a farmers league. If you score goals, you score fucking goals. He's one of the best strikers in the world. He is the best striker in the world. And there's my hair in quarantine after about 4 or 5 months.
That's pretty bad, man. I thought mine was bad. That's pretty bad. No, mine's pretty bad. I'm not going to take my hat off. We're just talking about this before, Christian, you got on.
Mine was worse. I had the Pirlo beard going and the hair.
Yeah. Still handsome, bro. All good. Thanks for the question, guys. Bruno says Jorginho, Champions League and Euros. Yeah, if we're going off on accolades, 100%. I guess if we're going off individual performances, then Lewandowski has a shout. But remember, Christian, we teed up just after Messi won the Copa, and we're like, well, he's sort of the GOAT after that. We can't really argue it. Although at the end of this season, we'll see what happens. But to be honest, man, whoever wins it, Ronaldo's not going to win it. Obviously, I can't see them giving it to anybody but Messi or Lewandowski. To be honest.
But when you see what Messi did with Barca in hindsight, you're like, back then you're like, but now you're like, damn, you did that with that?
Yeah. Bro, it's bad, eh? Like, when you look at the Barca situation right now, and like, we used to speak about it a lot, you and I, like, Barca's heading for a downfall, the likes of which are worse than when they lost their players in the early 2000s, man, before Ronaldinho came out of nowhere and rescued them for a little bit.
They're back to mediocrity.
Oh, it's bad, bro. And like, they're not just losing, they're losing ugly. They're losing 3-0, not scoring goals against shitty teams in La Liga. Man.
But I just think it's if it was me, I'd pick Jorginho just because, again, what he won. If you're going off of that, if you're going off of sheer talent and balling, I'm going Haaland because Lewandowski should have got it last year. But again, he plays for Bayern. What Haaland's doing at Dortmund's just freaking nuts, dude. Like, this guy's just, like, ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how are you gonna give it to Haaland when Lewandowski did that and more and won a treble almost pretty much every year?
Yeah, but you play at Bayern, bro. Like, if you put Haaland at freaking Madrid or Barca, he'd probably be doing the same thing, if not better.
That's like saying if I had 2 wheels.
Look who's feeding him. Look who's feeding freaking Lewandowski, bro.
No matter.
Compare it. Look who's feeding who. Fucking Gio Reyna and Narby. You're really going to compare?
Yeah.
Gio Reyna to Narby.
Yeah.
Do you think Lewandowski scores enough consequential goals? Because, like, maybe Christian's saying that, like, Lewandowski's stats are coming up around about the time Bayern are already leading 4-0 at halftime. But, see, I don't know. I don't think that's the case.
He scores in all moments. He's clutch. He's good.
Well, you know, nobody even spoke or even mentioned Mbappe in this conversation.
He plays at PSG. Nobody cares.
Exactly. Just like Neymar fell off Mbappe.
Yeah. Neymar's further away from a Ballon d'Or than he's ever been in his career. He's never going to get up to that stage again, in my opinion.
Listen, all you got to know is he's going to get hurt when it's his sister's birthday.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Harry says we needed this international break. It'll be a positive for us. That's something I thought that we did need as Inter fans. Why do you agree, Christian?
I don't know.
Why do you disagree, Christian?
Because you got the players still playing a bunch of games. It's different. It's not like the Christmas break.
You think that tactically players struggle to adapt back to the league when they're going to play freestyle football for their nations because the nations are sometimes like not really managed well?
You go to the nations, you're playing a bunch of games still. You're traveling across the world. You're coming back to Italy tired as fuck after playing in Latin America. You're talking about a 6, 7 hour, actually an 8 hour time change difference. Sometimes 9.
Yeah.
Sleep's messed up. Then you come back, you got to train, and then you got to play a game in 2 days. And
South Americans cop it worse, bro. They'll be 2 days late. I'm already reading shit like Lautaro, Sanchez, Vidal, Correa already have to be on the bench. The bench against Lazio. So if we're down players already, and this is why I think that we need to like sort of figure out an attacking situation just in case we're going into the next few weeks after the international break with an injury or some fatigue.
Bro, if Lautaro is on the bench against Lazio, I'm going to be sick.
Because we ain't got anybody else. Well,
it's
some people.
That's one of your best players. Why are you going to put your best players on the bench against a big team?
Well, if he's coming back from World Cup qualifiers 48 hours beforehand, I thought when we see how the news came out that he took a knock injured. I thought that was the Beppe Marotta masterclass, but I feel like he's going to take the pitch in the next game because they shouldn't have dropped points to Paraguay. They need him to score now.
That's what I said. It's not that good that we have the international break. It's terrible.
Jono coming in on Twitch has got us. He goes, Argentina and Brazil have already said they will not release their players early to make the first game back. This international football has been the biggest pain in the ass the last 18 months, man. We're still playing catch up from January 2020 COVID. It's crazy. Not fair.
Can't catch a
Tiffany
break.
agrees.
Check it out right now if you want.
Kifney agrees. International break is not actually a break for the national team player. It's a break for the kinds of Ranocchia, D'Ambrosio, and Gagliardini. This is why mid-table sides love the first couple of games back from international break because ain't nobody went to travel with the squad and they can just go off and rip a team with better players who are fatigued or not focused.
Bro, Inter has 15 players that are on international break. Of those 15 players, 11 of them or 10 of them are starters.
But that's what you got to expect when you do things like win a Scudetto, right?
That's why I said I don't get why you're saying it's a good thing that we're on an international break. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Our form was worrying. But our form was worrying. I think that's why. But it's not. You're saying that if the form is worrying, that doesn't give us any time to make it better with an international break.
We were still grinding out wins. So I mean, you're acting like we're losing a bunch of games. You only lost to Madrid.
Yeah.
We're still grinding out results. It's not like we were on a 4-game slide and it's like, oh yes, the international break is here. Let's regroup and recoup. No, it's just now we got to send our players halfway across the world, and they got to travel back and forth between Latin America as well. And
I don't even think it's good to go on an international break after a streak of bad results because that last result really plagues on your head when you're overseas as well. So basically, all in all, international break sucks ass, especially in the context of right now where there's no time for turnaround. There used to be a time where you could pick the international break from a mile away and go, let's just plan for it. These days, it's almost like embedded into your calendar and it's really starting to tick people off. Before we go into Inter, gentlemen, thanks to the 15 people that are with us. Bruno wants us to talk a little bit about the Newcastle owners, maybe even looking to purchase Inter as well. I don't really agree with all that because I refuse to acknowledge any positivity or optimism around the Suning departure. But when I see how much these guys are worth, that's some sickening money. So congratulations on Newcastle being the best Bianconeri football side in the world. That's for damn sure. And let's see what they can do with that. Christian?
Yo, like, I know half the Arab world hates this guy with a passion.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, yo, you got oil money, bro. Like, what's up? I could be a dirty little whore for $1.
Bro, tell me about it. Didn't you see the photos and the videos of all the big white men drinking Stella beer but holding like Saudi Arabian flags that have some pretty like threatening messages written on them as well in Arabic?
That's just their flag.
No, they were holding a bunch of other flags, man, and they made it on Twitter as well. It got bad at one point, bro. It was just it was a massive clash of cultural inappropriation. But these Geordies, bro, 14 years under one of the wealthiest businessmen in England who wouldn't invest half a shoelace back into the squad if they begged him on all fours. So that's why they're cheering, bro. They are really happy over there, Mario.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Saudi Arabia Do they have a lot of soccer teams that they own, like the Saudi Arabians?
The teams, besides, well, these particular guys own Newcastle. Now, I don't think they actually own another club. No, I don't think they own another club. No.
No,
but they have Saudi Arabia teams. Like Chavi's a coach of one of them. What do you mean?
No, I mean, do
there's a Saudi league.
Has this PIF fund? Do they own any other clubs?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as I know, I don't hear too much about Saudi. You hear about the Qatari, you hear about the UAE, the Arab Emirates, guys from Dubai and all that shit. But Saudi Arabia, I think this is like the first big purchase from them. So this is pretty big for them. I mean,
no, because remember they owned the dude from that owned Malaga. He bought Malaga, and then that's why in Spain they won't let foreign investors come in.
Yes.
He bought Malaga, and then Malaga didn't qualify for a Champions League, so he pulled all his money out and almost bankrupted the club.
That's when they signed Julio Baptista.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That was the season Malaga came like 3rd or 4th in La Liga as well. Yeah, they were killing it. 5th? They were there.
5th. They missed the Champions League by like 1 point, and then their owner like pulled all the money out, and he said he wasn't going to pay the players and all this crazy stuff.
That's nuts, man. That's nuts. Jono says, can I raise something? Inzaghi getting the start of the match is so wrong than needing our bench to change tactics to get a result. Now, that's what it's appeared like in the last 3 to 4 games. So we'll go to Christian.
The Madrid game, he started out right. He started it good. We just didn't finish. So, I mean,
what do you think the problem is in terms of starting the game, or at least trying to play? Because under Conte, we looked better for longer periods of the time. Now, when we're effective under Inzaghi, I would say we are effective quicker. When we go out to do something and make a change, it changes like that under Inzaghi. But
you're effective. You're effective when you need to be. It's not. It's like, okay, whatever. We did 45 minutes trash, but in those last 45 minutes, when it matters.
I would say that teams that generally play free-flowing attacking football, they gas out against us very easily, and that makes it a lot easier for us. Like, I'm thinking of the games where we didn't start well, most notably Sassuolo, Fiorentina. We were good for the first 12 or 13 minutes against Atalanta, and then they tore us up for the rest of the first half. But against teams that still play a little bit more reserved, we didn't have a problem against them. So, Mario, under Inzaghi, because we haven't spoken to you for a while, we're 5 wins in 7, only 2 drop games domestically. How are you ranking us, or how are you rating us at the start of the season?
I think it's been good. I saw a stat, I think you guys posted it, that he has more points than Conte starting out in this part.
So far, yeah.
So, I mean, that's right off the bat, you see it's working. So whatever Inzaghi does, whether it doesn't work in the first minute or it doesn't work in the 90th minute, it's working at some point, and we're not getting killed because of it. Like, he's inherited a great group. He's putting in his philosophy, which is clearly a little bit more free-flowing as opposed to...
It's going to take time.
Conte. So it's not going to be straight through 100 miles an hour, win. You're going to have your bumps. It's going to take some time to instill a couple things. Like, he's going to want to try something new in a game every now and then. It's going to happen because they practice a bunch of shit all the time at the training ground. So, it's all situational. If Brozovic is playing good and then all of a sudden 15 minutes he's the worst player on the field and he takes him out, you got to do what you got to do. And Inzaghi's been adapting really well, I think. Whether we start out in the beginning bad, which really it's not concerning for me. I didn't see the Sassuolo game because I was away. I think something like that. And but the other games that I've seen pretty much all the other games. We had like one really bad game. Which one was it? Was it
the last game?
Yeah, was it the last game?
Well, Sassuolo was probably our worst game of the season so far, to be honest. Man. It's just as Christian said, when we needed to. More. You think Atalanta?
Yeah, because we played
Atalanta was Atalanta.
They were really similar games, to be honest, man.
Yeah, so
Sassuolo, you still got the 3 points. Atalanta,
yeah.
Donovan almost fumbled it in the last minute off a stupid goal. The ball is going out. Why would you try to save it? At least if it's a corner, you can reshuffle your defense. But if you play it back, you're playing it back into the middle of the penalty area. What are you thinking?
Like we need, and at the end of the day, it's better to be lucky than good in some situations. And we have luck on our side, we have good on our side, so it's a pretty even balance from the way I've seen so far. I don't have any complaints from Inzaghi yet. I think the only thing that we need to figure out is our striker situation, because it's working, but it's not as effective as it should be, in my opinion. It's more nitpicking where they're not clicking as much as they should. I played Dzeko and Lautaro, I think it is.
The only thing is, like we said, remember I even called the last starting lineup the way it should be. The way it was, I called it exactly what was going to happen. But the thing is, because you can't burn Dzeko out. That's the thing. People got to realize, my man's like 35 years old. He's not going to sit there and give you 90 minutes every single game.
He's doing so well with the minutes that we've given him so far, has he not?
He has, but you still got to remember, you still got Copa Italia, you still got Serie A, you still got Champions League, and he's still on international duty. That's 4 tournaments, bro.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to burn this guy out? I'm telling you, we're going to see so many injuries this year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But not like it won't be an excuse for us, because every team is going to suffer, especially at the top of the table. It's all going to be the same.
It's not on the same level though, because all right, Milan doesn't have as many international call-ups. Juve, to an extent. Napoli does not have the same that amount of international call-ups. All right, you just you can sit there and go to all those teams, and you're gonna see none of them has as many as Inter.
Yeah.
Even Juve doesn't have that many international call-ups. They got maybe 14 or 13. Yeah, 1 player less, 2 players less, but still, no.
Yeah. New contracts coming up for a certain few players. This one, Marcelo Brozovic, Lautaro Martinez, and Bastoni probably 4th after that. Important to get the Brozovic one sorted as soon as possible, because he's the one with only 6.5 months left on his contract. And we wouldn't want Marcelo Brozovic thinking he can negotiate with every club in the world for a move, because he just might do that. I'm pretty confident we'll lock him down. That means if anybody wants to come for Brozo, they'll still have to fish out 30, 35 M's. This gentleman right here, he will definitely renew, because Marotta this morning was quoted as saying that we are looking forward to the renewal for Nico Barella, who is a potential captain for the future. And then he also finished by saying we are very excited about Lautaro Martinez's renewal. So it's really nice to hear your CEO come out and say Barella and Lautaro are renewing no matter what. And that's happening really, really soon. I was waiting to hear it from Bepp's mouth himself, and not just read from, the trusted sources, which actually aren't as trustworthy as you think in this day and age. So Christian first, happy with the extensions. And see, this is a conversation that only like certain people will entertain with me. And it's the idea of the notion of selling Lautaro at the end of the season if he has a really successful season. And I know you'll disagree, but you're always more than willing to have that conversation with me, bro, because I know you see my opinion. So I'll go to Mario first because he agrees with me, and then we'll go to you, bro.
Listen, if you get a Lukaku-sized offer, you can replace Lautaro with 3 Lautaros. It's simple.
Ooh.
I don't care who. I'm not a scout. I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah, if you're not a scout and you're not going to tell me who, then what are you talking about? You're just wasting time. You're blowing air.
What you talking about? They'll find someone.
You could have at least told me Raspadori or somebody else, but you didn't even say that.
Belotti.
Come on.
Done deal. Belotti on a free. And you save 100
million. You got Dzeko that's 35 years old, so who's replacing him? Belotti. So you're just going to flat out replace your whole front line.
Belotti.
Belotti is the striker of the future.
Is there a situation where you see us selling him, Christian, or you think we're locking him down with the intention to keep him here for a long, long time? Because I don't know the club's intentions. The way Suning behaves, this renewal means we sell at the end of the year, because I ain't got no faith in these people.
Yo, he was only going to leave if it was Barca or Madrid. He's not leaving.
And Spain has no money.
They're broker than us.
Yeah, legit. They are broker than us. That's sad. Is Belotti going to be good on a free transfer or a cheap transfer in January? I like Raspadori, but I think he'll be too expensive. That's why you go for Raspadori in January before he has a chance to score 25 goals and his value goes from 25 up to 45 and Sassuolo turn into the biggest pricks in Italy. But this would only go on.
And then he goes to Juve for 15.
I don't think he's going there because of how much he likes Inter. Yeah, he really likes
him in the summer. He told him no.
He's pushing. It's almost pushing a little too hard for this Inter deal. Like he had a stinker for Sassuolo against us. He was the only shit player on the pitch, bro. He was doing that on purpose. And like he starts 5 out of 7 games for them this season. The guy's benched Scamacca, and see people were saying like, is he ready yet? And I've been telling like, not only is the guy benching Scamacca, he made it okay for Sassuolo to let Caputo go. If he was really that bad, you really think Caputo goes to a direct rival? Direct meaning Sassuolo and Sampdoria sort of sit in that same bracket of the Serie A standings. I'm more than happy to have Raspadori, man. So, Christian, my next question. Yeah, go on.
I would have, if you would have said Raspadori for Toro, I would have entertained the conversation, but you didn't. For me, Raspadori's only coming in for Dzeko because Dzeko's 35. That's the deal for me.
What's your opinion on the Alexis Sanchez situation? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't wrong for feeling how he felt. The you guys is different opposed to me as a Latino reading it. I didn't take it the same way others did because I took it as he looks at himself as a great player, but he's not getting any time. So obviously he feels like he needs to go reevaluate himself as a player, including his injuries. If he even wants to keep getting called up for national team duty, because obviously that's hindering him because he continuously gets hurt playing in all those South America games.
Cool. And I guess it's the rich man's version of expressing your feelings, bro. You're posting a Lamborghini on $7 million a year. I think that's what people were really.
But the thing is this: what's he supposed to say? Is he supposed to say he's a Ford Pinto? Come on, bro.
No. I understand, bro. It's like for me personally on his wage, like I'm happy if he stays. It's just that I don't know how much input he's going to give, man. I don't know how much more input he can give for us because technically speaking, he's still the best player on the team with the ball at his feet. Who's better than Alexis Sanchez with the ball at his feet on our team?
Eriksen.
Yeah.
Listen. If 35-year-old Dzeko can still give us some, then Alexis can still give us some.
100%. I'm with you 100% on that. I think he still has a lot to give. He used to give, don't get me wrong, but he still has a lot as a role player. You could throw him in for a start every now and then. He's going to give you a decent performance.
You think when we're trying to save some wage space, that might be a big reason why?
The wages are high, yeah, but I mean, we're stuck with it. You're either way, you're going to eat it. So you might as well try and play him, get something out of him, milk him for what he's got left. He's still one of the most talented players in Italy as we speak. I mean, he's not going to just suck.
Interista 246. How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming by. What's going on? Mohamed Jovic loan rumors again. I haven't even seen those ones this time, bro. They can keep coming around every time. He's not getting any minutes at Madrid, barely. So I don't want anybody with dusty legs here, man. I want people who've been playing and who are ready to take the field. In terms of the other players that we've seen get some good minutes for us recently, I wanted to talk about some of the other new signings. Correa and Dumfries. 2 players I know Mario is not too high on altogether. You want to talk a little bit about their starts to the season, man?
Correa I liked. I just wanted Bellotti over him.
Okay.
It wasn't a gripe with him. It was just preference, really. Dumfries, he started off shaky and he's still defensively suspect. But going forward, he's been good. I don't want to say great. He's been good. And he's been dangerous when he's had the chance, but I don't know. I'm just not sold on him yet. I think he's gonna need time. Next year, I'll give like a full kind of synopsis on whether he's good or not because first year in Italy is always tough for most of these players. It's hard tactically and all that shit, and he's got to do his defensive duties, which he clearly can't. I don't know. Darmian. He's not the best player, but he's going to give you an average performance at the very least, and surprise you with the good performance every so often.
Christian, what are you saying about our new signings, Correa and Dumfries, so far this season, man?
You gotta let Dumfries run through the cycle. He's got to adapt or get out. You got to give him a good run of 10 games. If he doesn't get it in that time, then it's kind of one of those things like, all right, put the Ambrosio in, because at least you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, we've seen this happen before, bro. There's no reason to believe it wouldn't happen again. Mario, you're going to find this absolutely hilarious, cuz did you know that Stefano Sensi invested in a startup company in the last couple of days? Do you want to know what that startup company does?
Hold on, don't tell me. They give prosthetic legs to people who don't need them.
Close enough, bro. It's an app to avoid getting injured and coping with injury. No, I'm being serious, bro. I wouldn't make this up on camera live, man.
Oh my god,
that's what happened. Crazy, bro. Crazy to think.
He's like that kid that that was a professional school shooter. He's a school shooting expert because he was in one. Where Sensi just gets hurt, so he's like, I know how to prevent injuries. Go, just retire already, please.
Another classic Mario take, bro. Another classic Mario take on the context of the world.
Here, I'm gonna give you a good take. All right,
on Sensi.
Unvaccinated people traveling the world are your modern day Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, it still counts, bro. It doesn't matter who sees it.
You took smallpox from Europe, brought to America. It's just like taking COVID from the U.S. to Europe. It's different variations, same thing.
The Delta, Chelta, Belta environment.
Yeah, there we go.
Seeing Correa get any better, I don't think that's really fair. Guy's barely started 2 games in a row and has had some really good performances. So let's not cry that too much, man. In terms of other players coming in January, I don't think we're going to do much. I don't think anyone in Italy is going to do much. I mean, the proof is in the pudding when you see a Saudi fund go for a 17th place English side before they even think of investing in one of the top Italian sides. The gap between the Italian league and the English league and some of the other clubs is just absolutely huge, man. Absolutely huge. I think Nathan Nandez will probably come in because he wanted to leave Cagliari. And when you want to leave somewhere and they get significantly worse when you don't leave, that's when you start holding clubs to ransom and saying, I'm not going to take the pitch anymore. Cagliari under Mazzari, I thought they'd improve and get a few more wins, but they're shocking for a team that's got the likes of Godin, Strootman, Keita Balde, João Pedro in their team. So I'll go across to the boys and just start talking a little bit more Central Serie A. 7 games into the season. I'll get the table up in the background. Start with you, Mario, bro. Anyone that surprised you, you can start with the obvious ones and then we'll just go down the table, man. I mean, I know that you know more Napoli fans than half the Napoli fans that I know in general.
Napoli's been really good this year. I said it from the get-go. Spalletti's going to take them to the next level, and he clearly has. They haven't lost a game this year. 7 wins in a row. Osimhen's shutting me the fuck up because I said he's shaky. He doesn't have that kind of killer instinct that I saw in the first season. He gets thrown out of the games too much. He gets hurt, this and that. But this year he's been really good for them, and he reminds me of Lukaku in their system where he just kind of gets the ball in midfield, turns and just goes to goal. And I was like, I fucking love this. That's the kind of player I want on a team who just he has that style in the Euros. He just puts his head down, goes to goal, doesn't give a shit what's going on. You're either with him or he's shooting the ball, and whatever happens, happens. So Napoli's been very good. Milan, I'm kind of surprised how good they're doing, but I don't know. I thought under Pioli they kind of just plateau and crumble, but he seems to be keeping steady ship. Roma, I think they're a facade right now. You know, Mourinho's good, but the team isn't. Tammy Abraham's good, but I don't think there's enough pieces around them to keep a fighting chance to give them that Scudetto run that people kind of think they have in them, but I don't see that. I don't think defensively they're good enough. The midfield, I don't think it compares to the likes of even Milan's or Inter's, or Lazio, if you want to throw Jerry under the bus over there. Fiorentina.
Lazio, for me, bro, Lazio, they're not going to be good enough this season under Sarri, man. The inconsistencies are going to cost them too many points. And, like, it'll be one of those things that when they're good, they'll play the best game of the match day. Yeah. When they're good, you'll look at them and go, that was the best performing team of the match day by far. But that will only come around once a month.
It's weird. They don't have the personnel to keep it up on a consistent basis. Ciro Immobile, if he's not scoring a penalty, it's hit or miss with him. He has good days and he has a lot of bad days. Juve stinks. Fiorentina, they cleaned out house, so they're actually really intriguing this year. I like what I see from them, honestly. I think
got good players, man. That's the thing. They got good players.
I think Nico Gonzalez was an excellent signing. Amrabat, I think they brought last year. I love watching him play. Defensively, they're okay. I think they need some help over there, but I like Fiorentina this year as like a solid upper mid-table team.
They really need to sign Vlahovic onto another contract and just tell him verbally, you're leaving anyway. Can you please make sure this club can profit from it? Because Fiorentina are in a position right now. You get 50 more M's on top of the squad that you've got now. That really, really helps for a club like you. Vlahovic is probably worth more than that. Clubs are willing to offer more than that. Whether we think he's worth more than 50 is a different conversation. But let's not get it twisted. That guy is going to go for big, big money. All you got to do is get him on a 2-3 year contract for Fiorentina. Just put it in front of him and go sign a 3-year extension so we can get 40 M's for you. And we'll sell you in 6 months. We'll sell you in 9 months. So we'll see what happens there. With the whole Juve being trash thing that you've said, you know me, I'm taking the same stance I did last season. Like, they'll come back at us like a heavy train. They didn't last season, but with Allegri there, I feel like they know how to grind it out a little bit more. Although their personnel on the pitch, it's going to be thin and it's going to be weak. They got more injury problems than we have, man, and their inconsistencies are even worse. Your whole Rabiot, Ramsey situation, Weston McKennie situation, that midfield sucks. But I can just see them clawing through and getting points because their attack's pretty good, man. This whole give Dybala an extension and a pay rise, shove that in the bin, bro. Pay Fiorentina the waiting money for Federico Chiesa, give him a pay rise, and build the team around him. That's what I would say.
Real.
Oh, Lord Nostradamus, man. Last season.
Last one. I thought Allegri was going to turn this team around, but they have. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it with them.
Lord Nostradamus, last season, you got very few things wrong, bro. I can't even remember 2 or 3 things, but I don't think Juventus will crumble to the extent that they did last season. I'm intrigued to think how you think it's going to go. What do you like so far this season, looking at the table, and how do you see it going on?
I think Napoli's a little overrated.
You think they'll fall soon?
They're going to fall.
Because Napoli's always going to fall. It's their MO. They come out hot. They come out swingy, and then
it's a Spalletti thing to do as well, but he's got more players this time. And you know what's really helping him this time? This bloody 5 substitution thing, man. That's saving managers.
Once the African Nations Cup comes, they're going to lose like Koulibaly, Osimhen, and I think Anguissa's French.
Yeah, look, Anguissa, he has had such a good start to the season, bro, man. Yeah.
Excellent. He's Cameroonian. Yeah. So
he's going to AFCON as well. Yeah.
So that's 3 or 4 players right there off the bat that are mainstays in the lineup for, a good amount of games. So Spalletti also, we know who he chose. So yeah. I like Napoli, but I think they're like a 2nd, 3rd place team right now.
I don't think anyone's expecting them to go and win the Scudetto. They'll tell you that themselves. They just really want to make top 4 after the disaster way they sort of missed out on it last year. What Spalletti's done, I think, really well, and Peter on IFTV said this as well. He came into Napoli knowing exactly what the Napoli fans and players and club need to hear from him. The way he conducts himself in the press conferences, the way he conducts himself in general. He even did that to an extent when he came into Inter, man. He knew that this is a rocky environment at best. You can be the champions of Italy and it doesn't matter. Inter's a rocky environment. You can have a great season, a great outlook as Napoli. It's still Napoli. All it takes is one bad thing to rock the boat in Naples, and that's it. What he's done, he's really embodied the Napolitana culture really, really well. He feels like one of them, and they really love him, bro. And I think I speak for both of us when I say we want Spalletti to succeed. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Spalletti. And when he went to Napoli, I was like, this is the perfect place for him.
Yeah.
He's going to take them to the next level. I said so many freaking times. He's such a better fit for this team than Gattuso is.
Oh, yeah.
What Christian says.
He's just a better manager altogether, man. But I think, like, when we look back after winning our Scudetto with Conte and seeing where we are now, complaining about not being able to sustain a top spot, because that's what we're complaining about now, Mario. Suning have put us in a position where, like, shit, we just got to champions. We're not ready to relinquish that fight of champions. And when you really go back to everything, bro, we've got Luciano Spalletti to thank at the core of all this for bringing us back to where we are, man. We started these podcasts and stuff when Spalletti was going through some tough shit at our club, man.
Yeah, like you got me on and we were talking about Icardi being stripped of the captaincy. You know, it takes balls to do that. It's not something that you can just walk in and be like, hey, get the fuck out. He did that and it worked. And obviously it worked because we started doing so much better since he left. And, you know, I freaking said that for years, but whatever. Well, that's for another conversation. But no, he knows what he's doing, Spalletti. He's won a Scudetto. No, he didn't win.
No, he hasn't won a Scudetto. He's won the Russian league with Zenit St. Petersburg. But you got to remember that he's collected more points for any Roma side in history. They went toe-to-toe with Inter every step of the way. And they even overtook us at one point, I think, on match day 36, one season where we had Mourinho. And then they dropped the ball against Sampdoria big time, where Lucas Torni had a stinker in that game. I remember that. But yeah, very, very successful coach. Everywhere he's gone, he's done well, and I can't wait to see him do well for Napoli. And I
worry about when they have the injuries and the African Nation Cups, because their backups are Mertens, who's not as good and usually injured, and Petagna, who is a waste of space. And I can't believe they actually spent 20 million for him.
If he doesn't score a goal on deadline day, I swear to God they were going to sell him. I swear to God they were going to sell him.
Get one foot out the door because he's freaking useless. And their midfield, they need a freaking backup. They're desperate. I've been.
Hey, bro, Fabian Ruiz is not playing too bad this season, man. I get why, but he's not playing too bad.
I don't want to hear it. I'm so done with that freaking guy. He stinks. He could have 3-4 good games, and that's it. It's fuck him. Yeah.
Fair enough, bro. Who else have they got, man? Because, like, I wanted to, when I say who else they got, I want to see what their fixtures are. That's what I meant. Well, yeah, Di Lorenzo, good at club level. Don't be telling me he's good enough to play for the Azzurri. Every time he steps on for the Azzurri, he stinks it up. He's not good enough for Napoli, is he, bro?
No. They need wingbacks on that team. Mario Rui okay. He's sufficient going forward. Defensively, he's got his liabilities, but as a right back, they need to replace Di Lorenzo. He's a liability on going forward and defensively. I don't care what anybody says. Napoli fans will back me up on that because they're the ones that pointed out that, like, he's not that good. I'm like, I don't really know because he doesn't stick out in these games.
They've been playing well without Dries Mertens for the majority of the season as well. You know, with Politano in good form off the bench and Hirving Lozano as well, they've finally got a team to sustain a top 4 run.
They do.
Like, they really do, man.
They have depth in the striker position, the 2 wings, and center back, and that's it. And goalie. They need their wing backs, and they need center mids. I've been saying this for 2 years. Until they get that, they're going to struggle because Fabian Ruiz, for sure, he's playing good now. Once his form drops, we're going to play Lobotka, Demme. They're not going to take you to that next level. They're not going to be able to be the sufficient replacements in that midfield. They're going to do other things well, but collectively, with the other guys to, like, get you that win to, you know, propel the team forward, it's not going to happen. They're just role players at best.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Roma. Welcome back, Christian, man. Roma, I like what you said about not having the pieces around Tammy Abraham because there's only so much this guy can do with a $40 million price tag on his shoulder from England. It's not really a fair way to bring him into the Italian league, although I will say that's a first world problem for an athlete like that. Yeah.
Can I say one thing what I was saying before? I'm telling you the top 4 is going to be Inter, Milan, Napoli, and Juve still. I'm still not counting Juve out. I think they're still going to squeeze in that 4th.
I can see that.
What makes you so confident that Inter and Milan can sustain what they're doing for the rest of the season? Is it a lack of competition, or do you actually genuinely think both of them are the goods?
I literally think both of them are the goods. I think Inter's going to finish 1, Milan 2, Napoli 3, Juve 4. Napoli can never sustain any sort of, like, actual consistent attack. Every time they get in the position to win a title, and the best chance was with Sarri, They always blow it. Spalletti's not a title-winning coach. What pedigree does he have to his name? He doesn't.
No.
I still think, even though Inzaghi is a coach that's still learning, you're getting results while you're doing that. You're not going to see an Inzaghi team till you get past December. If you can maintain and be 6 points out of first come the Winter Scudetto, come at the end of the first round of fixtures, you're in play. That's all you need. Milan's going to slip on their own. They always do. They don't have the depth to continue this type of season.
I don't know, man. I like the way Milan are looking and playing. They look like the sort of tight side, like they last season. They're going to make up for the games that they dropped last season, and I think that that's important because they were very close a lot of the time. Zarok would agree with you, Christian. He goes into winning hands down, and that's interesting, man. I asked you earlier where you're from. You're saying Bankstown. That's where I am from, bro. Born and raised George's Hall, 25 years, and I taught in Bankstown for 5 years, Zarok. So you need to do me a massive favor, man. I need you to inbox me. I don't care what platform, inbox me. I want to talk to you, okay? Thanks, bro. We're about to talk a little bit about Roma. Tammy Abraham not having the pieces around him, although I will say when Pellegrini decides to turn up, he's probably the best-looking midfielder in Serie A on his day at the moment. Full kudos to him. But as we all know as Inter fans, you need more than one midfielder to make the pieces tick if you're going to actually go for that second or first position. So I'll stay on you, Christian, man. Like, they've got some decent players. Obviously, they mentioned Abraham, Pellegrini. You can't count out the likes of Zaniolo having a good season. Rui Patricio's a good pickup at goalkeeper. Henrik Mkhitaryan is discovering some pretty good form again. But all in all, you can see there, Christian, there's still 2 losses in their last 5. This Jose team, they're not going to get enough points, in my opinion, to go anywhere near the top. I really think they're going to be fighting tooth and nail last game of the season for a Champions League spot, bro.
I think they're going to finish in Europa. In terms of Zaniolo, I don't consider him for the season. He's going to rupture his Achilles or tear his MCL pretty soon. It's just in the stars for this kid.
You think he doesn't know how to handle himself back from injury? Is that right? Too much ego?
Yeah, he's going to get hurt again.
He's a glorified Sensi.
It's bad, man, because like the way that he busted it out his second time, you got to think to yourself, no one was saying it. This is a hella rush to return for an ACL, bro. Like, you're young. Is it really necessary for you to take the pitch? Why? So you can try and make the Euro squad? Newsflash, bro. I know hindsight is 2020, but we won that without you. And Mancini and everybody else probably should have seen that as well. There probably should have been some phone calls back home to Roma going, let the boy rest. He doesn't stand a chance. He's not coming. Don't even let it get into his head that he has a chance to make the Euro squad because he ain't going. And what happened? He tried to make the Euro squad and he got injured, bro. Is he going to make the World Cup next season? Probably not.
It's a Falcao situation with Colombia. He rushed it back in 6 months. Now he's what? He was like 30 years old and like borderline retired, and he fell off the face of the earth. He couldn't even freaking run anymore.
Did he score a goal in Brazil 2 weeks ago or something?
I don't know. Who cares?
That was no.
I could have sworn he did. He doesn't play the same team as Diego Costa now, does he?
Oh, you're right. He is playing in the Brazilian league. I thought you were. Yeah.
I thought you meant the futsaler.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, nah, dude, that's the futsal World Cup.
Nah. He's definitely not playing with Diego Costa, but I know he scored a goal recently in the Brazilian league.
He sucks.
I mean, if you put any retired good player in Brazil, they'll score. They don't defend.
No, they don't defend.
Nah, dude, Roma, Tommy Abrams can't do it all himself.
What about
I like him.
I said at the start of the season, this is the season that the Gasperini hype train starts to stagnate, and Atalanta as a club needs to actually look for some fresh ideas because go figure, the cycle actually comes to an end and nothing's guaranteed. You got 0 trophies from all this. I know you got some nice qualification into the Champions League, some nice revenue, but now you need to behave like a club at that level, Christian. I got a friend of mine from Melbourne, Armando, that comes on Football Worldwide, who's been a Napoli ultra for decades now back in the day. And he goes, Atalanta need to be careful because if they don't do this properly, they'll be back down mid-table bottom half before they know it. What do you think, Christian?
They should have never let Papu Gomez go for freaking Gasperini.
Yeah, but they could never do that, bro. They could never keep a 30-year-old player for the coach who's literally generated a systematic money system for Atalanta with his strategy and his tactics and his youth team That's what they're looking at.
Papu is Atalanta. The players respect Papu more than they respected Gasparini.
That's the one, Darian. Thanks. He scored for Rayo Vallecano. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much. My bad. Thanks.
But he's Atalanta, bro. Like, when you think Atalanta, you don't think Gasparini. You thought of Papu Gomez. Like,
Spalletti did the same thing with Totti.
Yeah, straight up.
Crazy. I think that they're going to fall outside of the Champions League places this year comfortably. I think there are games where they will draw, where they will drop points. You're going to be looking at Atalanta
Conference
for 4 or 5 games out of the Champions League race by the time it's relevant at match day 34, 35.
They'll be in the Conference League, dude. Don't be surprised if both Roman clubs go through.
Seems like a great opportunity to go and get some of these Atalanta players that are good enough to take the next level up, bro. They are, man.
A lot of those players, though, are system players, bro. You got to understand, a lot of them are system players. It's not that they're all out ballers. It's just.
Let's take a look then. In the Atalanta squad, who would you say is a systematic player that, and who would you say is actually the raw talent? I'll run through them. I've got them on screen now. First of all, what do you make of Mehdi Demirel moving to the side? I think that's a good move for him in terms of elevating his personal stature, because we know Allegri has got a bit of a hard-on for his old defenders. Demiral wouldn't have got the minutes at Juventus this season that I think he would have deserved. So I actually think he's a bit of a gritty player, man. He could be good for them. What do you think about him, Christian?
I wouldn't take him.
Nah, well, I wouldn't take him because we've got the 3 best defenders in Serie A anyway.
When you're telling me look at the team, I'm looking at who I would bring to the team. So if I'm not bringing them,
good big fans of Duvan Zapata, us 3 a couple of years ago. The hype died down a little bit this year because we've all got half a brain and we know $40 million is better spent elsewhere. But I think we'd all agree, Mario, Duvan Zapata is a raw talent. He'll succeed in other Italian teams and overseas as well.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine. Would I take him? For the right price, yes, but I wouldn't go out of my way and say he's a priority. I wouldn't say 40 million we have to sign him. I mean, he's in the peak years of his career, but is his peak years that good where we have to sacrifice Lautaro Martinez or like Correa, who's still younger and more promising in my opinion? And then Zeko's a world-class striker, whether he's 35 or 27. He's a fucking baller. So I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way for him.
Christian, I got 3 names. 3 names for you, bro. And you can tell me out of these 3 who you think is the raw talent or who you think is just systematic and wouldn't succeed elsewhere. We've got Robin
Dylon.
Gosens, Pessina, Malinovsky.
Gosens.
I like Malinovsky, bro. I like Malinovsky, man.
I'd take Gosens out the 3.
Gosens, yeah, well, we need him. We need him more than any other position. Like, he's really, really, really good. I just love Malinovsky's shot, man. Like, that's just a ripper, bro. I haven't seen someone shoot like this in a long time in Serie A.
He's what's his name? Manolo Gabbiadini, but like on.
So who are you starting? Whose place are you giving?
Malinovsky.
What is he?
I can't. Malinovsky's been moved around a lot in the last 3 months, bro, on that pitch. He was playing as a second striker against us at one point, wasn't he?
Okay. Where would you place him?
As a second striker.
It's too forward for me, bro. He needs to be deeper. You play him in a 3 with Barella and Brozovic.
So who are you benching?
Hakan or yeah.
It would really give Barella a chance to rest, although Malinovsky's not going to commit the box-to-box defensive end that Barella's going to do, that's for sure.
Where was Malinovsky before this season?
He was good this year.
You said what?
He was good. I've liked the way he played the past 2 years, and I
think Christian's asking what position was he playing before this season.
Yeah, because this season he's been everywhere.
He's been second mid, like right wing.
Yeah, like a right-sided midfield, like very similar to the way Barella covers the right-hand side of the pitch, bro.
So you'd swap Barella to the left,
bro? I wouldn't swap Barella for anything, man. So
No. But listen, when Vidal comes in, he always goes to the left, and Vidal slide in on the right.
Barella played his best minutes this season, I think, when he drifted over to the left against oh god, I forget who it was. Now I think it was against Verona. I think it was against Verona. Yeah.
That's when Arturo comes in. When Vidal comes in, he shifts over to the left side and he does a lot better. So I mean, fair game. I'll give you that.
Malinowski, I wouldn't put him as a direct starter, but I would definitely have him in a solid rotation with the other guys.
Go on.
And I think he's the kind of guy where, you know how I talk about where you put in a player to do the starter's job and do a better job. That's Malinowski. Whereas the other backups, they do an okay job or they kind of just fill the void, but they don't take that substitute title and change the game like Malinowski would. So that's why with him, I would consider him. Whereas Zapata, it's like I wouldn't do it. If you want to compare like those kind of two scenarios that we talked about.
I know he's 33 years old, but I was really happy Milan didn't end up landing Ilicic because I think he's that sort of player that would bang him an extra 10 to 12 goals this season. Obviously, at 33 years old, his price tag isn't something that we'd want to entertain. But hey, man, former Palermo player, Mario, he must have your tick of approval as always.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. I know we're all big fans of him, bro. We're all big fans of his style.
The problem with this is he doesn't have a position for this formation.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He needs to be in a 4-3-3 because he doesn't have the defensive presence that you want from that right wing, right side, and he's not really a center attacking mid anymore that he was at Palermo. He's more effective on the right side where he can just cut in and do his thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Guys, I'm conscious of time because I know it's late over there. Christian's yawning. He's got a kid and all that. So before we end up just wrapping up quickly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about something that's impressed me about this sector here. I think Bologna are going to be the best of the meaty bunch this season. I like the football they play. I think even after losing Tomiyasu, they're still going to get enough points this season to survive the drop quite comfortably. I think if Soriano has a good season as well. Yes, Mario.
Watch out for Empoli. I love how they play. I am a huge fan of their soccer. They play the right way. And they just don't have the players for it, but they play the right way when you watch them play.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're so high.
Christian, in terms of the mid-table to relegation, anything you just want to comment on before we finish this video? Do you see it going a certain way this season? I mean, just before you start, I expected Sassuolo, despite still playing free-flowing football, they sort of forged a mental identity under De Zerbi, and then losing the likes of Caputo and Locatelli in the same season was always going to force them to drop a few. Verona, I actually think, are doing quite a good job under Igor Tudor, which is a former Juventus coach. Without him, they'd be struggling because Ivan Juric leaving them is their loss and Torino's gain. Huge, absolutely huge.
That's what I was going to say was Torino.
Yeah, and other than that, man, due to the way they've treated us off the pitch, bro, I want Cagliari down to Serie C in 2 years' time. What are you saying, Christian?
I like Venezia to stay up so me and Mario can go watch a game there.
Oh, wouldn't that be romantic, bro? Nice jerseys too. What was your opinion on the whole what's that rule where if you have your team's name on the jersey, you can't put the crest?
Yeah, you can't have the crest on the team name. You have to have one.
That's crazy, bro. Why not? Why can't you do that? You'd think if it's the club that owns the kits, they could have all the rights for it, right? Or is it like a branding thing?
I don't know, honestly. It's like a weird Serie A kind
It's all the stupid rules. Look at the champions. You can't even have the snake on there.
Yeah, you can't have 4 colors. You can't have the snake. You can't have 2 badges. What else?
Didn't Sassuolo have to dial down their shade of green by like 2 or 3 shades this season just to suit the Serie A and their pitch?
They can't wear green anymore. That's 4 rules already off the top of
Does this shit go on in other leagues or is this just in Italy?
No, other leagues have rules.
I think they do.
It's just not as bad.
Yeah. In Italy, everything's over dramatic.
True. All right, that's pretty much all we're going to have time for today. And I just want to thank the boys for sticking around. It's been a nice little old school chat the way we used to do it. So Christian Rivas, thanks for joining us, bro. And I'm hoping for more optimism this season, more good results, and just more positive talks.
Of course. Mario, I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks for coming, Mario Gagliano, man. And I'm sure people will be seeing you.
Hey, Mario, you like my 11 Pro?
Oh, you got the 11 Pro? What? I thought you got the 13.
Oh, 13 Pro, my bad.
I want to get this.
This is my 11 Pro.
I'm still rocking the 10S.
What's your cover, man? Hey, that's heaps dope. Did you make that yourself or did you buy it?
Skinit.com.
Skinit.com, and you can just pick any image you want and they'll put it on the thing for you?
Yep.
All right.
Get a sponsorship.
Get a sponsorship. Hey.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, speaking of, yeah, we'll do Serie A Fantasy in the next video. I did one yesterday. Thanks for reminding me. All right, guys, check the links in the description for all the hyperlinks and whatnot from all of us here at Inter Worldwide. Forza Inter.